Morning, men. How are we getting on? Now, I can't really give a definite time on when I'm doing the lives just because the schedule is a wee bit full on at the moment. But we're going to try and do these every Saturday, like I said last week, or Sunday. At the moment, Sunday's looking a lot more better and productive as well. But like I said, these are all on the playback anyway. Now, the title today and the topic of discussion is: Are you too busy for growth? Now, the reason I'm bringing this one up is because I've had multiple conversations with men inside my program over the past while, and men in the duration of it for the past few years as well. And there is a stumbling block that some of them are in, and a place where this type of problem really does hold the men back, and it's being too busy for growth. Now, when we get caught up in our busy schedule, it's very easy to neglect ourselves, and I get that completely. We have our wife, family, girlfriends, business, work, and life can be hectic sometimes. I completely understand that. For you to make progress, right, you do not need to take major steps. I want you to forget about the major steps at the moment, right? Your progress in your health and fitness, life, mindset, mentality is all going to come down to your minor steps that you take each and every day. As long as you do better today than you did yesterday, then as far as I'm concerned, you're winning. But we need to make sure we're doing the right things that suit your lifestyle and you know that are going to benefit you in the long run. Okay, that's the key here. Now, being busy does not mean you're being productive. Now, I could go out right now, okay, and I could walk 20 miles, right? Or I could go to the gym and train 2 hours for my boxing. Now, I would be more busier if I went and done the walk, but I'll be more productive if I went in the gym and done my boxing. The reason being because I've got fights coming up, that's linked with my vision, my values, and that's linked in the direction I'm going. It's as simple as that. So you have to know your goal, right? You have to know exactly what it is you want. And if you're taking action steps that are out with that, then that is you being busy, but potentially not being productive. So it's just to understand and clarify the difference between those two, right? And it's very important to know that. Okay, so don't confuse motion with progress. Okay. Now the second thing I want to touch on there is audit your week. Actually detail right where you spend most of your time. Where are you spending most of your time throughout the week? And when I say that, I mean physically, but also mentally as well. Are your thoughts aligned? Are your thoughts productive? Or are you filled with stress, anxiety, and fear? Are you spending most of your time at work? Are you spending most of your time and most of your weekends in the pub? Like, where are you spending most of your time? Audit the fuck out your week because this will show exactly who it is you are, where you are at the moment. And remember what I was saying a few weeks ago and last week is if you want to be a self leader, right? If you want to build leadership in your life, right? A leader understands his current reality always. And then if he doesn't like it, he accepts it and he looks to change it. A complainer, right, will complain at their current reality, talk about changing it potentially, but they won't actually change it. That's the difference here. Self leadership, right, versus the complainer. Men, I advise you and I urge you to be and to start your journey in developing the leader within. That is the path we need to walk down. Now, again, I'm going to challenge you here. Go onto your phone, go into settings, and check your screen time. Check your screen time. This will show you how many hours you're spending on your phone. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because this shows us the reality, the facts on where we're spending most of our time. Too many people spend hours and hours on their phone, giving their energy, their time, their space out to things that don't actually build them up. Consuming 24 hours a day. Man, I need you to consume yourself. I need you to develop yourself. I need you to give all that energy to yourself. Think about it. It really does make a difference, okay? Now, what you give your time to really does reveal what you value. You cannot tell me that you value being in shape, your health and fitness, right? If you're if your day or weeks are not filled up with that, we take action on what we value. It's as clear as that. And if we're not taking action on what we want to value, our highest values, then we will feel it. And it's as simple as that, okay? What we value is what we take action on each and every day. If you're not taking action on something that you value, then you need to audit your week. You need to do a wee bit of self-reflection, and you need to figure out how you can add it into your routine. And remember, it doesn't need to be major. You can fit it in slightly if you can. The minor steps are what build our foundation as men. Now, align your calendar with your values. If you value your family, are you spending time with your family? You cannot tell me you value your family if you're not spending time with your family. Okay? Do you value your development? What are you doing to develop? Do you value health and fitness? Are you looking after your body? Do you value your business? Are you working on your business at the moment? What you value is what you'll take action on. Now, many men wear business like a badge, and this is what I was speaking to one of my clients recently, and we spoke to many men inside the program. Now, when we are busy, right, which we will be and we're going to be, right, we need to make sure we're not using that as that business as an excuse to avoid the real problems. I've seen this so many times, and I've done this so many times in my life as well, right? When there's an underlying issue that has to be resolved, or I have to speak truthfully to myself, or you see men who are extremely busy, but they're using this to neglect what the true work has to be done. Men, this is going to take a bit of open and honest conversation with yourself, a bit of directness with yourself, because if we're constantly busy, 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 then we're not giving ourselves a chance to reflect and see what's actually going on, checking ourselves on where we need to be better and what we really need to do, how we can be more efficient and productive in our life. What actions are going to move the needle for you? What actions have you been putting off? What plans and schedules have you not been delivering to yourself? Have you been sticking to your word? Or have you been using busyness as a badge to mask the true work that has to be done? Man, it's vitally important that we recognize this if this is happening. Because this can be the difference between you being inactive or you taking effective and efficient action day in and day out. And it's that simple, okay? Now, the next point I want to speak on is I want you to kind of understand that if you're not training at the moment, right, but you want to start training because you know it's going to be beneficial for you, but you generally think and feel that you don't have the time, I want you to again to always think to start off small. If you've not trained for, let's say, 6 months and you want to get into the gym, if you start off slow and small, then you can build on that momentum. That might mean you don't need to go to the gym straight away, but go on a walk, right? Build that momentum. Take things slow and then let it accelerate as time goes on, right? But there's 7 days in the week. It can take 30 minutes for a workout, right? Get a gym membership. Go to the gym once a week to start off with, twice a week if we can. Can you go on your lunch break? Can you go in the evening after work? Can you go in the morning first thing? If your schedule changes each week, then be adaptable. Man, we don't need to be so rigid with our plans. We can be flexible, right? You're in control. You can build your schedule, but we need to make sure we're getting the training in because the training is going to direct our thoughts, our mind, our body with purpose, but we're having a chance to get in shape, lift weights, and feel strong. That's where you're going to be at your most powerful, and it's vitally important that we move in that way and we start doing that now because, like I said on my YouTube video recently, we're in September now, coming up into October. The year is nearly done, right? And I want you to be at the end of this year and fucking buzzing on the actions that you've taken, okay? And if you're not, then again, we need to reevaluate and reflect and see where we went wrong. But we cannot be inactive anymore, right? I want you to be busy, right? And if you are busy, continue to be busy, but make sure there's some productivity in there as well. Make sure we're developing, make sure we're growing, make sure we're being more. Because this life here, right, we're not here to fuck about, we're not here to mess about, we're here to develop into leaders in our own life and feel, look, and perform exactly how we did in our 20s or at a higher level, right? But it all starts with us, it all starts with self leadership, and it all starts with understanding our current and present reality, right? Again, the last point I want to touch on today, people will come to me, or again, the conversation I had in the past, and you see this a lot, is they come to me and they'll be like, right, okay, I want to make the change. I want to achieve X, Y, and Z, right? But that's where it ends. If you want to achieve a goal, okay, you have to bridge the gap to get to that goal. So you're here and you want to get here. There's that space in the middle that we have to bridge the gap with. And we bridge that gap through daily actions, daily execution, building into the identity of the man who walks to achieve that goal. But action is required. Okay, we cannot just get to that goal through thinking. It's consistent action day in and day out. And it's as simple as that. We need to bridge the gap. So start putting your plans into practice. Stop hesitating. Use the environment. Use the community that we have over here. Okay. Now again, man, we'll crack on. I've actually got a marathon next Sunday, so I won't be doing the live next Sunday. If I can do it on Saturday, then I'll fire it out Saturday. When I can put dates and times specifically on these, then I will, because it means you know what's coming up. But as of now, just with the way the schedule is, I'll try and do it Sunday morning. But if I can do it on a Saturday, I'll fire it out on a Saturday. Now, if you want me to talk on anything specific, or you want me to kind of bring anything up in conversation, just drop me a message, let me know. And remember to get inside our private stories on Instagram as well. That's where we're hosting and giving out a lot more content throughout the week. We have our Monday leadership on Monday that we're dropping, first day nutrition, and Friday mindset. So make sure you're in our private Instagram stories. And again, any questions, man, let me know. But I'm going to end this here today. I'm going to get boxing in about half an hour. And then we've got a light run after that today. And then we're going to actually create content this afternoon for the rest of the month. And yeah, we've got a busy day planned. I'm looking forward to it, and then a wee bit of downtime tonight as my body needs it. We've been full on with training this week. And we've got literally just under a month until our next fight as well in Victoria Halls and Hillsborough, which again, looking forward to a challenge, and we're ready to fucking go. But again, all this is down to understand where we're going, taking the correct action, and a hell of a lot of mistakes, a hell of a lot of failure, okay? Which I'm a big believer on, okay? And it's just about really changing our perspective on what failure is, so we can learn, adapt, and grow, and step into our fucking power as self leaders, okay? So I'm going to end the live there. Any questions, let me know. But yeah, let's do this, man. Take action, have a good weekend, and I'll speak to you soon.